Hello, and welcome to Fluent English. Today's story is about a man who changed the way we communicate, listen to music, watch movies, and even think about design. This is the story of a visionary, a rebel, a genius, Steve Jobs. Chapter 1. The Beginning. Steve Jobs was born on February 24, 1955, in San Francisco, California. He was adopted by Paul and Clara Jobs, a humble couple from Mountain View. From a young age, Steve showed signs of brilliance and rebellion. He was a curious child, deeply interested in electronics and philosophy. He met Steve Wozniak in high school, and the two bonded over their love for computers and pranks. It was the beginning of something historic. Chapter 2. Apple is born. In 1976, at just 21 years old, Jobs co-founded Apple Computer in his parents' garage with Steve Wozniak and Ronald Wayne. Their first product, the Apple I, was a bare-bones circuit board. But the Apple II changed everything. It was one of the first successful personal computers. By 1980, Apple went public, making Jobs a multimillionaire. But his obsession with perfection and innovation was just beginning. Chapter 3. Rise and Fall. Jobs was a visionary, but not always easy to work with. His intense management style and high standards led to conflict within Apple. In 1984, the company launched the Macintosh with the now famous 1984 Super Bowl commercial. It was a bold, creative leap, but sales soon lagged. Just 1 year later, in 1985, Jobs was forced out of Apple after a power struggle with the board of directors. He was devastated. But this wasn't the end. It was a new beginning. Chapter 4. Next and Pixar. After leaving Apple, Jobs founded Next, a computer company focused on education and business. The products were powerful but expensive, and sales were slow. At the same time, Jobs bought a small animation studio from George Lucas. That studio became Pixar. In 1995, Pixar released Toy Story, the first ever full-length computer-animated film. It was a massive success and changed animation forever. Meanwhile, Apple was struggling. Ironically, it was Jobs' Next software that Apple needed to survive. Chapter 5. The Comeback. In 1997, Apple bought Next, and just like that, Steve Jobs returned to the company he founded. He immediately took control, cutting unprofitable products and focusing on simplicity and design. In 1998, Apple introduced the iMac with its colorful, sleek design. It was a hit. Then came the iPod in 2001, revolutionizing how we listen to music. But Jobs wasn't done. In 2007, Apple unveiled the iPhone, a device that changed the world. It redefined the smartphone and transformed Apple into a global tech giant. Chapter 6. Legacy and Final Years. Under Jobs' leadership, Apple became one of the most valuable companies in the world. The iPad, App Store, and sleek minimalist design language all bear his imprint. But behind the scenes, Jobs was battling health issues. He was diagnosed with a rare form of pancreatic cancer in 2003. Though he stepped down as CEO in 2011, he remained a guiding force. On October 5, 2011, Steve Jobs passed away at the age of 56. Final chapter. A legacy that lives on. Steve Jobs was more than just a businessman. He was a creator, a thinker, a disruptor. He taught us that innovation comes from passion, focus, and the courage to think differently. His legacy lives in every iPhone, every MacBook, every Pixar film, and in every dreamer who dares to change the world. This was the story of Steve Jobs. What will your story be?